featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Hey, this is Lo with Soul Harbor, and you are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour, your source for news, talk, and uncensored commentary. I'm your host, Douglas B. You can listen to us live show, the first Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m., and you can listen to us on the Lone Star Community Radio, FM 104 point something and 106 point something. Dick knows what they are. I keep forgetting. Today's show, well, let's backtrack that. If you want to get involved in the show, you have a question, you want to talk to us, you can text us in the studio on our Google phone, 936-344-3083. You can visit us on the web at www.VeteransAir.us. Leave us a message, drop us an email, whatever the case may be, and also on our Facebook page at VeteransAir.us. Today's topic of the show is the top 13 scams that target veterans. But before we get to that, we need to talk about some things. First off, today is March 1st. It's voting day for the veterans. It's the voting day for the Republican primary. If you're a follower of the show and you follow us on Facebook, you'll see that within the past 2 weeks or so, I've posted up a number of special podcasts interviewing the candidates. VFW 4709, they did a big candidate and constituents mix and mingle. And Veterans Air was there, and we offered each candidate 3 minutes to sit down and talk to you about who they are, what they're running for, and why you should vote for them. If you haven't looked at those, go look at them now. You have important decisions to make today if you're a Republican. You have to pick who your candidate is going to be come election day. You need to also do that for a bunch of state positions, for county positions, and for Conroe city positions. We have Brandon Polk, owns a gym. He's running for council member. You need to go check these guys out. You need to check out who's going to be the candidate representing the Republican Party for the governor, for the congressman, for who's going to be Montgomery County judge. Big contested race there. If you're a Republican, you need to go to the polls today and make the decision of who you think is going to best represent you. This is the precursor, if you will, to the elections in November. Republicans hold a primary because every Republican wants every single position, and you need to make the decision of who the Republican Party is going to put forward as their candidate in November. I will go be voting directly after this show. We also need to talk today about Russia and the Ukraine. You know what's going on over in the Ukraine unless you've been living under a rock. Turn on any news channel and it's Ukraine, Ukraine, Russia, Russia, Russia. Fellow veterans, Putin has put his nuclear forces on high alert. If you and I were back in the day, well, you know what? Everybody would be issued their M17 gas mask, make sure that their mop was ready to go. As civilians, we don't have that. And as a civilian, this should concern us greatly. Let's just put Ukraine to the side for a second. We have a nuclear power putting his nuclear forces on high alert. Every other nuclear power country is going to do the same thing. I wish I had a picture of the doomsday clock, because if I did, it would be 1 minute from midnight. We are that close. If the balloon goes up, don't know what to do for you. Sorry, somebody's ringing in. We only can take texts. So, if the balloon goes up, we're in a world of hurt. We can't make Putin not launch his missiles. But we can talk to our elected officials at the state and national level to say, do what you need to do so this doesn't happen. Because if it's a choice between global nuclear war or saving Ukraine, I'm going to choose for not saving Ukraine. I think we need to seriously consider the ramifications of this nuclear element to this war. Now let's talk about the Ukraine for a minute. I want to say this to the Ukrainian people. You, Ukrainian people, embody the very spirit of cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. You, Ukrainian people, you make my heart sore. Because here's the facts, people. Here's the facts. Russia invaded the Ukraine. The Ukrainian people took up arms and are defending their country. Let me say that again. The Ukrainian people, not their army, their air force, the Ukrainian people have taken up arms and are defending their country. That fact right there, that is a liberty-loving people. That is a freedom-loving people. You defend your country. And they are. So you know what? We've sent them $1 billion worth of military aid. President Biden has asked for an additional $6.4 million in aid to Ukraine. Where we're going to get this money to do this with, I have no idea, because, our inflation rate is 7%. But it's important that we do send them military and humanitarian aid. They are not a democracy. Let me say that again, because you may have not heard this listening to the media. Ukraine is not a democracy. They never were a democracy. They are not members of NATO, nor are they allies of the United States. So, internationally law speaking, we don't have to do a damn thing as America. We don't have to do a damn thing to support Ukraine. But the right thing to do here is to support the freedom-loving people of the Ukraine. We need to support that grandma that stood in front of a Russian soldier, berated him, and then said she's going to plant flowers on his body when he dies in the street. We need to support the 80-year-old grandfather who showed up with a bag that contained 2 sets of underwear, 2 shirts, change of pants, and some sandwiches for lunch, along with his AK-47, because he's going to defend his country. 1776. That's all I have to say. What the Ukrainian people are doing is what we did in 1776. We took up arms to defend our fledgling democracy, our fledgling country. Now, Bitter Glitter and Texas Grace Photography have decided they're going to release some never-before-released images of a beautiful Ukrainian girl. And we're going to title that The Angel of the Ukraine. And they're really great photos. I'm working on them now. And if you choose to download these, 100% of the proceeds will be going to the Ukrainian Defense Fund. We're going to do our part. I encourage you to do yours. We need to, as Americans, figure out some way to control our elected officials so they do not cause nuclear global war. We are that close, in my opinion. We are that close. Get out your pens, fire up your keyboards, go contact your elected officials and tell them you do not support a nuclear war. All right, off of my soapbox. We're going to go and we're going to talk about these 13 scams. But I need to tell you why we're talking about this. The other day, I received a phone call from a call center, and they were purporting to be my health insurance company, and they needed more information for their files. And that sounded odd to me to begin with. And then, like the third question in, he wanted to know who my medical provider was. This is not in the records. I pulled out my insurance card, and on the front of the insurance card, it's listing my primary care physician's name. So I asked the gentleman, well, that's strange that the files don't contain that information because I have my insurance card right here from your company that has my PCP's name right on it. So how is it that you cannot have it in your files, but yet the card you issued me has that information? Says the operator. I said, scam, and I hung up. Then I called my insurance company, my insurance agent. Excuse me, I have dry mouth here. Then I called my insurance agent and asked her, and she said, no, we wouldn't do that. That was definitely a scam. Good catch. Thanks for calling me so I can, let my other clients know. So that got me thinking. There's a bunch of scams that you get by email and phone calls. There's a bunch of phishing that you get in emails and phone calls. And let me explain the difference between the two. A scam is where they're actively trying to get you to give them your credit card information. Phishing, on the other hand, is they have a few pieces of information, but they need more from you so they can either forge a credit card or steal your identity. If you think your identity is not going to be stolen because you have bad credit, guess what? They like those type of people. They're the easiest ones to get information out of and to further ruin their credit ratings by buying $1,200 worth of lingerie. You need to be aware that scams and phishing and identity theft are out there, and there are scams and phishing events out there that specifically target veterans. Specifically. They're looking for you. And I came up with the 13 top phishing and scams. Engineer Dick and I were talking before the show. I'm going to turn this into a PDF and put the link in with the show links that show up above or below or to the side or wherever you see them in your particular device. And I have a lot of links for this show. So I'm going to turn this into a PDF so you can download it there and get all the information that I have to you. This is just too much to put out here. So let's jump right into it. These first four scams and phishings I call the benefit scam. This type of fraud occurs when a scammer attempts to manipulate or gain access to a veteran's government benefits. Number one, the benefits buyout scam. Scammers offer an upfront payment of cash to you in exchange for the veteran's future disability or pension payments. These buyouts are typically a fraction of the value of the benefits. You've filed paperwork with the VA for a disability. It's in the works someplace in the VA bureaucracy, or you've actually been denied and you're working on an appeal. These type of scammers will tell you, look, we'll handle all of this for you, a whole 9 yards, but once you get approved, all of the back pay that you're going to get for this comes to us, but we will give you $5,000 in cash today if you sign up with us. You get the $5,000 in hand, but they may get $10,000 or $12,000 for your back payment benefits. There are advocates out there that will actually help you and do this for free or for a very moderate sum of the back pay. I had one guy do it for me many, many years ago. And our arrangement was that he was going to get 2% or $5,000, whichever was greater, of whatever back pay that I received. But he did all the work. And I didn't have to give him any money, and he didn't give me any money until 2 years later when the whole thing was settled. So that's the benefit buyout scam that specifically targets veterans. We also have another scam that I call charging for records. A scammer attempts to charge for access to a veteran's military records or government forms. Never, ever, 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 ever pay anybody to get your records or to get forms that you need. They are all free and will gladly be given to you by the VA or by the VA regional office. If you need your medical records, there's a form that you could fill out and send to Houston, and they will send you your complete medical records. Or you can go down to Houston and request them, and they will give it to you on a CD. Any form that you need is available for free download online. These people also attempt to charge you to register with ebenefits.gov. idme.com with the ehealthyvets.gov. You don't need to you don't need to pay somebody to sign you up for those programs. They're free. They really are. And listen, if there's enough interest, make sure you go to VeteransAir.us and fill out the contact form and let me know you're interested on how to sign up for these programs. I will do a podcast on it. You just have to let me know that you're interested in more information on any one of these scams. Number 3, the investment pension scam. Unscrupulous investment advisors claim the veteran may be able to claim additional government benefits by overhauling their investment holdings. No. You need to get a credible financial advisor that will tell you how to qualify and quantify any of your investments to see if any of those investments could garner further benefits for you. Or you can contact your state's VA rep or liaison, if you will, and ask those questions of her or him. In our case, we all know who our veteran liaison is, and that's the wonderful Kaylee and the ladies that work with her. Give her a call. Very nice people. They will answer your questions. You may have heard about the Veterans Choice Program or the VCP. There's also a scam that goes with that. And let me read this to you. Scammers have set up a phone number nearly identical to the number veterans dial to find out if they are eligible to use approved healthcare providers outside the VA system. Vets call the fake number, and a message prompts them to leave their credit card information for a return of a rebate. They debit your account, and the vet gets nothing in return. Make sure you dial the correct number for the Veterans Choice Program, and that number is 1-866-606-8198. If you get a call or an email talking about the Veterans Choice Program, it's probably a scam. Unless your doctor has said, I want you to see the civilian doctor, or you've gone to the VA and talked to your primary care and say, I want to talk to this civilian doctor, it's probably a scam. Never, ever, ever give out your credit card information over the phone. Never. No way. Now you're saying that, Doug, this is few and far between. That's not going to happen. It does. I know 2 veterans that fell for it. The next group that we're going to talk about are identity theft scams. I believe my insurance call was one of those identity scams. Identity theft occurs when someone steals personal information that could be used to falsely apply for credit or government benefits. I've heard people say, my credit is so bad, nobody will steal my identity. Really, Captain Obvious? Your identity is just the type of identity they're trying to steal. Here's the thing with identity theft. Once it has been stolen, you have to prove it was stolen. And even then, you may be responsible for all the debt amassed under the stolen identity. Identity thieves love to file income taxes and get the tax return before you can file your taxes. You have precious little protection for ID theft. Have you even tried to prove that you didn't do something? Trying to prove a negative is very difficult. When somebody steals your identity, you are truly screwed. So, You've heard me speak about our intern, Nikita. Nikita's identity was stolen, and they filed income tax before she could file income tax. And now she is trying very unsuccessfully to undo all that identity theft scam that was done to her. This is a hard thing to do. Now, I am not promoting any one company or technology to help you protect your identity. But you know they're out there. You've seen them on TV. This may not be a bad idea to consider one of those options. And again, if you're interested in this topic of identity theft and what you can do to protect yourself from them, go over to VeteransAir.us, use the contact form, drop me a message. If I get enough interest, I will do a whole show on that. I'll bring in some experts to talk to you about that. So, number 5, Veterans Administration phishing. Scammers call veterans claiming they work for the VA and ask for personal information to update their records. If you get an unsolicited call from the VA, hang up. This is doubly true for emails. Just don't respond. All unsolicited calls purporting to be from the VA, requesting personal information like your Social Security number, so forth and so forth, the VA will not ask for personal information by phone, text, or email. An unsolicited call or online message offers to help you increase your benefits or access little-known government programs are scams. They're trying to get your personal information to steal your identity. Employment scams is the next one. Con artists post bogus job information to recruit veterans on various online job boards. The scammer may use or sell your personal information provided in the job application, and that's what they're trying to do. It's likely a scam if you must pay to get the job. You need to supply a credit card or banking information or any such things. This is not the way federal, state, and local jobs are done. If you're looking for one of these jobs as a veteran to leverage your years of military service into a federal or state job, you want to look at true employment job offers. And you can go to www.twc.texas.gov. You also can go to usajobs.gov. You'll find those links above or below or to the sides. It's important that you don't give out personal information on job boards. That's not how you're getting your job. They're just looking to scam you or steal your identity. This is one of my favorites. The IRS is calling you. The IRS is not calling you, period. End of discussion. The IRS does not call or do the following. Call to demand immediate payment using a specific payment method such as prepaid debit cards, gift cards, or wire transfers. Generally, the IRS will first mail a bill to any taxpayer who owes taxes. That's the way the IRS communicates. They're not calling you. They're not emailing you. You don't owe money to the IRS. First off, I can't understand how people would fall for this. Did you file your taxes? Were you expecting a tax return? Did you file your taxes and you owe the IRS money? They're going to communicate by the United States Postal Service, or at least until the UPS goes out of business. The IRS will not demand that you pay your taxes without the opportunity to question or appeal the amount they say they owe you. You should also be advised of your rights as a taxpayer. Let me read that again. The IRS will not demand that you pay your taxes without the opportunity to question or appeal the amount owed. That's a right as a taxpayer. Many years ago, the IRS said I owed them $3,000. I looked at my tax return and went, oh, $3,000. And I refused to pay them. Got a nice letter in the mail weeks later on saying, you didn't pay your taxes that you owe us. Pay this amount. Called the IRS, set up an appointment, went down there, argued my case, showed them my facts, and they went, oops, sorry, you're right. You don't owe us $3,000. That's the way the IRS works. The IRS will not threaten to bring local police, immigration officers, or other law enforcement to have you arrested for not paying. The IRS also cannot revoke your driver's license, business license, or immigration status. Threats like these are common tactics used by scam artists to trick victims into buying into their schemes. You can check out the IRS's official website for more information and questions answered at irs.gov. I have a specific link above or below, or right here in my show transcript I'm going to make available for you. I get this next one. I get this call all the time. All the time. We have a lawsuit against you sitting on our desks. Yeah, and I have a toll booth to the Brooklyn Bridge that I'd like you to buy. If you get a call saying something along the lines of, we have a lawsuit pending against you in our office. For more information, press 1 to speak with an attorney using case number 123456. Do people really fall for this scam? Do they really? Yes, they do. They do fall for the scam. And that's why the scam is still around. There are 2 ways you are notified of a lawsuit. I had to go and speak to an attorney to make sure this was true. There are 2 ways that you are notified of a lawsuit. 1, by certified mail or in person by an officer of the court, or it will be listed in the local newspaper if you cannot be served. So, if I have a lawsuit against Dick, an officer of the court is going to come banging on his door and hand him that lawsuit. If they can't find Engineer Dick, the court will post in the local newspaper, and go get your newspaper and read it and check it out. You'll see these legal notices. That's where they're posted. Those are the only 2 ways that you're going to be served. By in person by an officer of the court, or if you have no address and they can't get hold of you, they're going to post it in the newspaper. If you're a victim of one of these scams, I want you to specifically go to texasattorneygeneral.gov or call the Attorney General. Their office wants to know about these scams. My clock just died. Oh, I got a half hour yet. I have plenty of time. There are some other scams out there. 20 minutes? You can talk. My listeners know who you are.
20 minutes.
It's like he's really so engineering. But you guys know who Engineer Dick is. I mean, he's been with us since the beginning. There's other common scams out there. The GI Bill education marketing scam. Veterans seeking to take advantage of the GI Bill for college courses may be targets of deceptive marketing tactics that prove false information and encourage them to attend expensive for-profit educational institutions. The VA offers a comparison tool to help you locate a school to determine your benefits. Visit va.gov/education. Do you guys remember ITT? The Technical Institute and whatever the hell it was? ITT Tech? Guess what? That was a scam, scamming the GI Bill. Now, you all remember Dangerous Dan, the bug-killing man? He was my co-host for many years. Dangerous Dan decided he was going to go back to school and better himself. I think everybody should better themselves. Every day you should be the best you could be. Before he did this, he asked me to check out the schools, which I did. Because just because the school is out there and can take your GI Bill doesn't mean that they're an accredited institution. It does not mean that the education that they're giving you is any good. Why waste your GI benefits on a school that's going to do nothing for you? I know a veteran who went to ITT for 2 years, and at the end of the 2 years, the school shut down. The VA, the government, shut them down because they were a scam. Not only did he lose those 2 years of the GI benefits, but he lost all the other money that he paid into the school. Check out va.gov/education before you sign up with any school. Special deals for veterans is number 10 on the scam list. Scammers offer special discounts for veterans on a range of products like loans and car purchases. Often the products aren't discounted at all, or they don't really exist. Check out offers carefully, ask more questions, then you answer, and never wire money to somebody you don't know. Trying to get me to pay for anything is extremely difficult. Dick will tell you that's true. Why would you send money to somebody that says he's giving you a discount? Loans don't work like that. Number 11, the rental scam. Scammers post a false rental property on a classified ad website offering discounts for active military and veterans. You just need to wire transfer a security deposit to the landlord. Only there is no rental property, and you've lost your money. This particular scam came to me from a landlord. We were having a conversation, and I was telling him about this show that I was going to do here, and he said, "Let me tell you about the renter scam." And I went, "You got renters that are scamming you?" He said, No. There's rental agencies out there that are scamming renters, specifically veterans. And he told me about this scam. And I went, "That's messed up, dude." He said, "Yeah, I'm letting every single renter that calls me know about this, whether they rent one of my properties or not. Do not rent a property over the internet. No. You have to deal with a reputable company if you're going to do that. Airbnb, for example. I'm not promoting them, using them as an example. I use them a lot when I'm traveling because I don't need to worry about what the property is going to be like when I get there. Because if it ain't right, Airbnb is refunding me and compensating me for the hotel. Don't rent a property over the internet. This one usually gets my panties in a bunch. I call this the Charities scam. A scammer, appealing to your sense of commitment to those who have served, claims to represent charity helping veterans and their families. Only scammers pocket the money and divert donations and veteran benefits by contacting your state agency, no, what the hell, sorry. A scammer appealing to your sense of commitment to those who have served, claims to represent a charity helping veterans and their families. Only the scammer pockets the money and diverts donations away from legitimate charities that serve veterans. Check out charitynavigator.org or charitywatch.org before supporting anyone. If you are listening to us today on Facebook, Veterans Air, a little microphone up there, on the Lone Star Community Network's webpage or whatnot, you will see a donation. 10 minutes? Hey, can you flash up that Donate Now thing? Dick's going to try to flash up this Donate Now that he just did. You can donate to Veterans Air by actually donating to Lone Star Community Radio, who's putting the funds in for Veterans Air to help support this program. That's legitimate. You can take it off taxes. The radio station is a 501c. It's tax deductible. Donating to the VFW, the American Legion, the DAV, or to any of the organizations that I promote on this show. I have checked them all out using Charity Watch to make sure they're above board and they do what they do. Because let's face it, guys and gals, as veterans, we know that there is a plethora of organizations out there that support veterans. We also know there's a bunch of people out there that say they'd support, but just pocketing the money. If you're kind enough to reach into your pocket and give a charity, a veteran service organization, any money, then you're a good person. You're trying to do good for your fellow brothers and sisters in arms. That there's people that specifically scam to do that really, really, really irritates me. And they better hope that I don't catch them doing it, because I'm like a bulldog on that, and I don't let go. The Microsoft "I have a virus in my computer" call. I get this asked a lot by clients. Someone representing that they are with Microsoft and they just found a virus in your computer. They give you a call. Well, they can clean it up, but they need you to pay them X number of dollars, usually in gift cards, saying that this is your protection. And they will need access to your computer remotely. Here's the thing. Microsoft does not monitor your computer, and I don't care what virus protection you're using. Microsoft does not monitor your computer. But this is a high-speed, low-drag call. It really is. They even give you a callback number so you can return the call and verify that they really are with Microsoft. Don't laugh. I had a client spend $300 in Google gift cards before he called me and asked me if this was a scam. Yes, this is a scam. If you're my client, no one other than me is ever going to call you and tell you about viruses and securities. And certainly not Microsoft, certainly not Rackspace. Think about it. How would Microsoft have access to your computer to check for viruses in the first place? It's a scam. It's a trap. I'm going to give you some general fraud protection tips here. Protect your Social Security number and personal information at all times. Don't carry your Social Security card in your wallet. Don't print your Social Security or driver's license numbers on your checks. Shred sensitive information. Limit the number of credit cards you carry. Keep copies of credit cards front and back in a safe place in case the card is stolen. Having an image on your phone is not a safe place. Monitor your bills and financial accounts each month. Watch for missing bills and review your monthly statements carefully. Contact your creditors if a bill doesn't arrive when expected or there's charges that you don't recognize. No, MasterCard, I did not buy $2,000 worth of lingerie in New Orleans. Stop laughing. Don't invest in anything you're not absolutely sure about. Do your homework on the investment and the investment company and the salesperson to ensure that they are legitimate. Watch over your credit reports. Watch over your credit reports. Watch over your credit reports. I said it 3 times, so it should be crystal clear now. You are entitled to a free credit report each year from all 3 credit bureaus. To get your free report, go to annualcreditreport.com or call 1-877-322-8228. A lot of twos in there. Protect personal identification numbers and passwords, your PIN and passwords. I can't tell you how many times I tell people that is not a secure password. Don't carry your PINs and passwords in your wallet or purse. I carry all my passwords on my phone in a secure app because I got a lot of passwords. Avoid using Avoid using easily available information for your PINs or passwords, such as your mother's maiden name, or your name, or your family member's name, birth dates, ask for your Social Security, phone number, or a series of consecutive numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. They are easily guessed. Choose a different PIN for each account. Protect your information online. Use a VPN. Beware of emails that claim they came from the bank, internet service provider, a business, or charity, and will ask you to confirm your personal information or account number. If you receive one that is suspicious, forward the email to spam@uce.gov. Avoid conducting personal or financial business on a shared public computer or over wireless hotspots. Use a VPN. Install the latest version of established antivirus program. Keep your antivirus programs up to date. Make sure when you're at a website that you're doing personal or financial information transfers that is a secure website. You know by looking up in the address bar, you'll see a little lock, and the first letters you'll see are HTTPS. That means it is secured. Protect your mail. Every day, the U.S. Postal Service safely and efficiently delivers millions of checks, money orders, credit cards, and merchandise. Unfortunately, such items as these are also attractive to thieves. So here's some ways that you can protect that. And I want to say a thank you to Keith and a thank you to Oscar down at the post office. You guys are doing great jobs. Where the hell's the post boxes at? 1 minute. So, I want to leave you with this awesome song as we end by the Warrior Song Project. You can download it from Veterans Air on iTunes. And while listening to this, let us remember our brothers and sisters in uniform that today are standing in harm's way for our freedom. This goes out to the Ukrainian people. If you are wearing the uniform, I want to say to you, thank you. I want to say to you, I'm proud of you. And until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
You're a